Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Creativity Broadcast. I'm your host, Laura. I'm here to do another collective creativity reading. This reading is for you if you are a creative person, if you are working on your relationship with your creative spirit, if you are working on a creative project and interested in how the energies around us might be able to be of support and use as you grow all of those things. So if that resonates with you, you are in good company. Go ahead, sit back and relax, and let's get started. I've just got this lovely selenite wand here. It's always supportive to me in creating a sense of clarity and connection. Interesting message to kick this off. I just got this message almost like of hands like arranging things. Like it almost looked like, at first I thought it was like rolling something, and then I was like, no, it's just because I have the selenite wand. But it's like arranging little beads next to each other, like little peas in a pod, like getting them prepared. And there's like it's a very like meticulous focused energy. All right, let's get some clarity on this today. I'm thinking let's start with Sacred Destiny Oracle. Okay. Hope y'all are doing really well. I'm so excited because there's so many more of you watching these, and it just warms my heart. It's really exciting. And I need heartwarming things. It is really cold and dark here right now. In fact, yesterday I was playing some music with my bandmate, and I found myself saying, like, I need us to set up a gig for January or February to have something really exciting to look forward to, because we are in the thick of the dark season. All right, let's see. Let's see here, everybody. Overarching message. What do you want us to know about this? Fulfillment. Wow. Fulfillment. I find myself a little bit speechless, speechless. Sorry. The fulfillment card comes up on this channel from time to time, and it's often the fulfillment card. I think is it's one part like tangible, project oriented, but it's also one part energy. It's like calling to this experience of fulfillment. And I'm getting right now that it's a little bit like the threading of the needle between like the projects or activities or commitments that are providing a sense of fulfillment, but also our energy getting shored up so that we can actually experience that fulfillment. You know, it's not like a thing we're chasing, it's a thing we're actually feeling. A peach also, I think, one of my favorite fruits, and just the experience of eating a peach is so fulfilling, right? Like you have to wait for it to ripen. And then when it does, it's just like sweet, perfect, and delicious. And, you know, in this picture, it's here on the vine, but it's also under the moon. And the moon has a little bit of clouds in front of it, which I'm sort of curious about. I'm curious about like the cloudiness and the fog. But you'll also see here that we are also seeing the sun rising at the same time. So it has me thinking too about like the cyclical nature of fulfillment. So let's read what Sacred Destiny Oracle has to say about this today. What does it have to do with this peas in a pod thing getting arranged? Okay. Laden peach tree, it says. The peach tree blooms early, And because of this, it is often a symbol of spring and the renewal of life. It is also the Chinese symbol of a happy marriage and of fertility. In some traditions, it stands for immortality. Ripe peaches also portend fertility, fecundity, and great fulfillment. In Korean traditions, the peach represents happiness, riches, honors, and longevity. In the Renaissance, peaches represented the heart and love, and speaking the truth from one's heart. The sacred landscape wants you to know fulfillment is at hand. No matter what is occurring in your life, put attention on what is splendid, pleasurable, and luscious. Find bliss in the moment. Love fully, deeply, without hesitation. Cherish your friendships. Fill your life with people, experiences, and places that give you delight. Let go of people and things that don't feel empowering and that drag your energy down. You no longer need to put the needs of others ahead of your own needs. I'm going to read that again. You no longer need to put the needs of others ahead of your own needs. If you've had any health issues, a ripe peach represents a return to better health. Savor your life with gusto and with grace. Experience and embrace life in all its permutations. If you want to conceive a baby or a new project or start a new relationship, this card is an excellent omen for a great outcome. Wow. Excellent omen for a great outcome. Okay, let's get some more clarification on this. I'm thinking we're going to read from Moonology deck today. I'll be curious if we get I feel like this message is sort of about living in the moment, like letting yourself sink deeper into the moment, especially when it comes to like sensations or pleasure or things that bring you happiness, like letting yourself sink a little bit deeper. And this feels extra important right now because we are right at the beginning of the winter season where for me, I don't know how this is for you all, but for me, the winter is a season where like sinking in deeper often feels bad. Like I feel like I'm going to go into the earth and never come out, but this is definitely like an invitation to go deeper and inward, and like practice letting it be safe for you to experience pleasure without consequences. That's like what's coming through here, like pleasure without consequences. Okay, Moonology, what kind of clarification do you have for us around this fulfillment message? Okay. I've got two. Okay. Wow, this is so wild. So we have new moon in Virgo, which is circling back from a message, I think literally a week ago. And we also have You Are Good Enough full moon in Virgo. And I kid you not, when I took this out of the box, that was the one that I saw. And I was like, oh, I bet there's a full moon coming in. I was actually thinking, this is kind of weird, but I was thinking like, because of the sort of like dual nature of this message, I was like, I bet if we get more than one card, there'll be a full moon and a new moon, because that's kind of the feeling. It's like the full moon is in the present moment, the full receiving of it. And then the new moon is the opening up to this new fulfillment, this new cycle, this new project. So we not only have both of those things, a new moon and a full moon, but they're both in the same sign. They're both in Virgo. And to me, a lot of what this is saying is like, this is about getting your ducks in a row so that they can, waddle in the correct direction over a long period of time. So this is less about immediate fulfillment when it comes to your long-term projects and actually getting organized, taking advantage of that Virgo energy, but at the same time, providing service to others, feeding yourself and others. So it's sort of like getting lined up for a future and like just knowing it's going to stay in the oven for a really long time. So you need to savor the present moment instead. Yeah, that's like what's coming here with the peas in the pod, like the placement of them so that they can then go cook. I'm mixing a ton of metaphors here, but I'm pretty sure that you all understand what I'm talking about. So let's start with the new moon, a time to give rather than take, which again, we did have just a week or so ago as well. So this is about taking stock. Where are you and where do you want to go? The new moon energy of this card suggests a restart, and the Virgo energy suggests that you make that restart a clever one that's simple and well organized. Yeah, this is also about health and well-being. That's like coming back through as well from the fulfillment card. A time to give rather than take, is also in the same vein of like really learning how to allow things to unfold over time and be happy in the present. You are good enough. If you say so. Okay, let's check out this one, which we also had very recently. Full moon in Virgo. Okay, you are good enough. It is time to be honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask the question you're asking about. Have you been humble to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far, and drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flashy, just quietly certain that you are good enough. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this is also about like, how would I be treating myself if I just like knew I was good enough and it wasn't a question anymore? So this might involve some Virgo activities like decluttering so that the future you feels comfortable sprawling out. This might also include things like subtle changes to your daily activities, just again to support that feeling of I am good enough, therefore here's what I'm going to do. I am good enough, therefore here's how I'm going to be and what I'm going to spend my time on. No longer having that be in question. That's so interesting. Also, another nice synchronicity I just want to point out here is in this peach card, we also have the full moon and the sun. And here we also have two spheres kind of like at different points. So yeah, this is really a little bit of like a like a wormhole of a message, because it is about like all of it at once. It's like the collapsing in of the macro of your plans and desires with the micro of like who you're being in this particular moment and staying unattached. But I am also really getting that thing of like just the very empowered awareness and the choices around like lining things up and then like putting them in the oven for a really long time. The lining up is supposed to happen now. Put them in the oven. All right. I think for our final message here, we're going to check out the White Light Oracle, because I'm just getting the sort of like softer vibe of like, I don't know. I'm kind of getting this feeling of like this way of creating and being so alive in the present and so committed to your future. It's probably going to require a little bit of grace. Probably going to require a little letting go, maybe in some tender spots. So tell me if I'm off. It feels really right to me. So let's just check out the White Light Oracle and see what like loving, soft support we have here available to us right now. Okay, and you're just going to pop out to me when you are ready. Oh. The sun. The sun of 417. Wow. No kidding. Look, just that solar energy literally just like wrapped in the sun. I've had this deck for 6 years. I have never pulled this card before. Yeah. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. And also again, going back to like the duality of this, like the sun is rising over here on fulfillment, and here we are just like bathed in this like loving solar energy. Oh my gosh. Number 16. Yeah, that breaks down to a 7. That's so cool. Okay. Let's see. So this is, again, I asked about the grace we might need, like the loving, potentially healing message we might need in order to let this come to fruition. The sun. Okay. You have what it takes. Oh. You are a light bearer. Within you is healing power and spiritual wisdom you can tap into to find your way through any confusion or doubt. Have confidence in yourself and know you are enough. Expect an affirming yes from the universe. Our sun is a self-luminous being. It does not reflect light or energy from other sources, but rather generates its own light. It is quite literally an enlightened being. The sun is our spiritual mentor, teaching us how to be spiritually self-reliant when we cannot find support or guidance externally and need to go it alone for a time. Such phases can be difficult, but they are temporary. An inner spiritual strength is built during such times. Sometimes we don't realize our own strength until circumstances force us to find out. Yeah, that's true. Connecting to one's own inner light is a precious and empowering gift. It allows you to feel spiritually held from within. Once you have established such an inner connection, you are unlikely to give your power away again, less prone to being manipulated, and more likely to live in harmony with your soul values rather than the typically soul-denying priorities of mass consciousness. As your soul connects to the inner sun, your relationship to the light heals. It is not seen as separate. Instead, the soul begins to recognize the light as a constant inner reality that can be relied on for sanctuary. As the soul recognizes itself as the higher self, a being of light, the fears of the mind no longer dominate the heart as they used to. The inner light encourages the heart to depend upon its wisdom, to live as though the light was more real than the darkness of doubt and worry. Yeah, I feel like that message was just for me. I feel like the corner I feel I'm turning is around the light being like becoming more of a trusted, reliable thing than doubt and worry, which historically just have more weight. They feel realer, and they're not. The soul turns within, begins to tap into its own potential, and in doing so, gains further self-confidence, spiritual empowerment, and loving presence. If you are criticized, misunderstood, or disrespected by those around you, rely upon your inner connection to the light to see you through such dark times. You can commune with your inner light in private without needing to explain, justify, or even speak of it to anyone. Your inner light shall continue to shine bright, no matter what is happening around you. The frequency of 417 hertz is a spiritual truth serum. It undoes false perceptions and dismantles circumstances and situations that are not meant for the soul. When a challenging situation is helping the soul to grow, this frequency will help you understand how to work through it in a soul-centered way, staying connected to the light within. If a situation, such as a toxic relationship, is creating a barrier between the soul and the light, weakening its ability to evolve and causing it to become stuck in trauma and negative patterns, this frequency will dismantle the negative circumstances. You always have free will, but your capacity to exercise that free will in a self-loving way will become more available to you. This is major solar plexus energy. The 417 hertz frequency facilitates a healing shift into the vibration of the higher self. Your authentic life path is directed by your higher self. As it is unique, there is no use comparing your path to any other path in order to determine its validity and value. Got it? Your true life path may lead you away from the familiar, directly into worlds unknown. The moment the soul takes its authentic path, wondrous awakening can take place. There's a feeling of closeness and connection to the sacred. This frequency helps wipe away experiences of alienation and reestablish a deep and loving connection with the universe. It cleanses traumatic experiences and memories and any malignant habits formed as a consequence of past pain to allow the soul to experience true kindness, compassion, and love for self and others. In this oracle, it signifies that no matter what's happening in your life, you've got this. Wow. Thank you, White Light Oracle. You've got this. Oh, it's so nice. So I think in terms of an action step here, this is such a great opportunity to remember that, yes, it's our time to kind of like line things up. But remember that who we need to be holding ourselves as we are putting our little peas in a little pod, is a connection to our personal power, who we know ourselves to be without the contamination of a lot of negative experience. And just really trusting that inner glow, that heart shine, if you will, is the thing that's asking to grow, and it can be trusted and embraced and empowered. So that's lovely. So what that might look like on a practical level, I don't know what it is for you. This is your time to kind of like put this onto your day-to-day experience and tinker to make it make sense for you. For me, this is probably as simple as like, instead of just rushing through the rest of my day, because I do have a lot of appointments the rest of the afternoon, this is about like powering this down, maybe going to get a sweatshirt because I'm kind of cold, like taking care of my physical body, instead of rushing, and like really enjoying the lunch I'm going to have, going slower, a lot slower, because I know when I go slow, there's just a different kind of glow that occurs. If you're aware of like what your version of that is, leaning into that sun, leaning into that fulfilling energy, drop it in the comments. I totally want to know what it is, and I can't wait to hear how it goes. All right, take care, everyone. See you next time.